After successfully identifying vulnerabilities in a system, it's important to analyze or assess them. So you will usually see these words used interchangeably. You want to assess vulnerabilities. So first step was to identify the vulnerabilities, and next step is to assess the vulnerabilities, which is what we're going to talk about. How can you assess vulnerabilities? So this step involves assigning a score or a severity level, and you want to prioritize them based on their level of risk and potential impact. What could cause more damage if it stays? What could be managed easily even if it's there? This is what you want to do. You want to address the most critical ones first. And there's a system called CVSS. CVSS is used to provide a numerical score to a vulnerability, common vulnerability scoring system. This is used to give a numerical score, and this helps organizations prioritize and respond to risk effectively. From 0 to 3.9, low severity, from 4 to 6.9, medium, and from 7 to 10, high. Sometimes you can see 7 to 8.9, high, and then 9 to 10, critical. So it depends on the organization and how they decide to do their analysis. Now, based on our previous analogy where we talked about the house, imagine you have the front door thing and the plug in the bedroom. The front door can be given a score of 9, and the plug in the bedroom can be given a score of 2. So what happens next is that when it's time to assess, you know that one of them is high, the front door, one of them is 2, the plug in the bedroom. This helps you give a score, and this helps you take security measures and know which one to start with. There's another system called CVE, Common Vulnerabilities and Exposures. So this is a publicly available system for identifying vulnerabilities. Each vulnerability is given a unique identifier that serves as a reference, so that it's like a common language that allows professionals to refer to vulnerabilities. So that if I tell you that there is a CVE 2021-268-855 on one of my systems, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For example, you know that the vendor is Microsoft Exchange Server, and you know the type, and then if you click on this, you can have more detail on that vulnerability. So CVE is like a reference to give you what exactly the vulnerability is. And going back to our example, it is just like the home inspection guy tells you, instead of telling you that the front door has a problem, he can tell you, FR211, this stands for front door has issues. With this, even if another home inspection person comes and does the work, or if someone comes to fix the work, you will know exactly what is wrong even before arriving. So CVE is just one way to assess and give a reference to the vulnerabilities. There is something called the exposure factor. The exposure factor is a percentage of asset value at risk. So what is a percentage of your asset that is at risk of being damaged? For example, if you have a warehouse, your warehouse is your asset. And then if they tell you 10% of the warehouse is at risk of fire in case this happens, that's the exposure factor, 0.1 or 10%. The risk tolerance level is the level of risk that an organization is willing to accept. How much risk can they accept? This is usually based on the fact that this amount will not cause tremendous damage, for example.
All right, guys, was that interesting? Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Trust me, you will not regret it. Also follow us on our various social media platforms, including Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, and more, to be the first to know about the awesome content that we're prepping for you guys. Thank you for your attention. Hope to see you on the other side.